grade 11 to our first session. I am Mrs. Mary Rose Lejana Agualio, an APM specialized subject teacher, and I will be your facilitator for our first session. I hope you will learn a lot. Happy learning! Today, we will be discussing our first topic under buying and selling, and that is markup. But before that, let us have a review first on base, percentage, and rate. I know that you are well versed about this topic, but as the preparation for our new topic, we will be having our review activities. Are you ready? Okay, let us begin. Let us have our first problem. So you're just going to find the base, the percentage, and the rate in the following problems. First problem, Raya make a loan amounting to 30,000 for 2 years. The interest paid after the first year is 2,100 at 7% annual interest. What is the base? The base is 30,000. The percentage is 2,100 and the rate is 7%. Okay. Our second problem, in a delivery of 300 pairs of slippers, 45 pairs were defective and 15% of the entire delivery comprised that defective part. So what is the base? 300. The percentage is 45 and the rate is 15%. Our third problem, Ryan earned 1,000 pesos interest from his bank savings account paying 1% interest. He placed 100,000 in his account. So what is the base? 100,000. The percentage is 1,000 and the rate is 1%. Problem number 4. Before the pandemic, the price of hot dog was 170,000. But now, during the pandemic, the price increased by 20%, thus resulting to an increase of 34 pesos in the original price. What is the base? 170 pesos. The percentage is 34 pesos and the rate is 20%. Welcome grade 11 to our first session. Our fifth problem is, in a convenience store, AJ brought a bread amounting to 50 pesos. She saw the original price was 62.50 with a 20% discount. So what is the base? The base is 62.50, the percentage is 12.50, and the rate is 20%. So very good. Now that you did well with our review exercises, I have a problem for us to read and analyze. So for our direction, read and analyze the given problem below. So here is our problem. Embroidery shops in Lumban purchase husi cloth for 70 pesos per yard. 35% of the cost goes to the operating expenses of the business. The goal of the business is to earn profit of that 20% of the cost. How much should the company's markup on the husi cloth and how much should be the selling price? Okay, let us analyze the problem. As stated in the problem, we have the following given. Cost per yard, 70 pesos. Operating expenses, 35% of the cost. And profit is 25% of the cost. These are our given. Okay, let's take a look at it and we are going to solve this problem. So what we are going to look for is the markup and the selling price. Adding the expenses and the profits from the business results to markup. Therefore, we may compute markup as markup equals expenses plus profits. So in our case, expenses is 35% of the cost, which is 35% of 70 pesos, and the profits is 25% of the cost, which is 70 pesos. So the markup is 42 pesos. The shops may sell the product by adding the cost which is 70 pesos and the markup by using this formula. Selling price is equals to cost plus markup. So the cost is 70 and the markup is 42. Therefore, our selling price is 112 pesos. For sure, you are fascinated about our problem. Since this is our first time to tackle the concept about buying and selling, I have here a set of questions. So here is our questions. What information were given in the problem? Which term in the problem is familiar to you? And which term is unfamiliar to you? Now, try to answer these questions in your mind. So I think you're already done. Those unfamiliar terms in the problem will be answered in our topic. Our first topic is markup. Are you familiar with the term? Okay, let us start. Embroidered barong from Lumban is originally priced starting 1,000 pesos up. Barong shops in Lumban manufactured and delivered their products to known garment stores in super malls like Cultura, Onesimus, and the like. When you see these garments hang on malls, the minimum selling price is almost 5,000 each barong, which includes the markup for its original price. How do you think the price of these branded barongs is being determined? Okay, the garment stores has to pay for the cost to make the barongs. Then the store purchases the barong at a cost price. And then the store increases the price of the item by a percent called markup. So they are going to increase at certain point to make a markup over the cost before it is being sold to the store's customers. So they are doing this to gain profit, to overcome their expenses, and to have profit. Now, using that problem, how are you going to operationally define the following terms based on our prior knowledge? These terms, first markup rate, original price, and selling price. Can you define it operationally in your mind? So markup, it is the amount increased in a price from the original price. It is the sum of the expenses plus the profits to recover the expenses and gain profits. When markup is expressed as percentage or in percent form of the cost or the selling price, we call it the rate or markup or the markup rate. The original price is the starting price and usually called the cost. Selling price is the original price plus the markup or minus the markdown. A markup represented by M is put on products. The sum of the cost or original price and the markup determines the selling price. So the selling price is the amount that we are paying once we buy a certain product. It already comprises the markup and the cost or the original price. Markup problems can be solved by the following equation. The selling price is equals to cost plus markup, or simply S is equals to C plus M, which S stands for the selling price, C stands for cost, and M for markup. And to solve for the markup, we use this formula. Markup is equals the expenses plus profits, or simply M stands for markup equals E stands for expenses and P stands for profits. Let us have this example. Cost per meter of cloth is 80 pesos. Operating expenses is 20% of the cost and the profit is 25% of the cost. Okay, let us take this example. Solution. Markup is equals to expenses plus profits, or simply M equals E plus P. So markup equals the expenses. Our expenses is 20% of the cost, or 20% of 80 pesos. And our profits is 25% of the cost, or 25% of 80 pesos. So 20% of 80 is 16 pesos and 25% of 80 is 20 pesos. So we add these expenses plus profits, we arrive at 36 pesos, which is the markup. And after we have obtained the markup, we can now determine our selling price by adding the markup to its cost. Okay, let us solve for the selling price. Selling price is equals to cost plus markup, or simply S is equals to C plus M. So our cost is 80 pesos and our markup is 36 pesos. So we have the selling price of 116 pesos. Is everything clear, class? Do you understand? Okay, very good. So now that we have our markup, we can now compute also for the markup rate. So we have the markup based on cost. So markup based on cost is simply M based on cost is equals to markup divided by cost times 100%, or simply M over C times 100%. So our markup is 36 pesos divided by the cost of 80 pesos times 100%. So we have 45 hundredths times 100% is equals to 45%. This 45% is our markup based on cost. Okay, so we have two types of markup. We have markup based on cost and markup based on the selling price. The formula for the rate of markup is based on selling price denoted by M sub S, and it is given by this formula. M sub S is equals to markup over the selling price times 100%, or simply markup over S times 100%. Our markup is 36 pesos over 116 pesos selling price times 100%. So that is 31 hundredths times 100% is equals to 31%. Therefore, our markup rate based on the selling price is 31%. Do you want more examples? Do you want to try more? Okay, let us try this. For example number 1, the cost of the new pair of shoes is 5,000 and the selling price is 7,500. What is the markup rate based on cost? Okay, let us first determine the markup. So to solve for the markup, since we have this formula, selling price is equals to cost plus markup, we are going to derive the formula of markup using that formula. So here, markup is equals to selling price minus cost. So selling price is amounting to 7,500 minus the cost, 5,000. Therefore, the markup is 2,500. So we already have our markup, 2,500. As we compute for the markup based on cost, we get this solution. Markup based on cost is equals to markup over cost times 100. So our markup is 2,500 and our cost is 5,000 pesos. So 25 divided by 5,000 pesos is equals to 5 hundredths. Then times 100, we have 50%. So the markup rate based on cost is 50%. Okay. Did you understand, class? Want another example? Okay, let us try the second example. Example 1.2. A new pair of slippers costs 2,100. The markup rate based on the selling price is 22%. What are the selling price and the markup? So here, we are going to look for the amount of the selling price and the markup using this given.